Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, Executive Editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow Room. And I've been that was Finster. You know, she's right here. She's pushing things around. And yeah, we're at the S's and we're moving backwards. There's some very interesting stuff here through the letter S. And you know, the letter S has got huge piles of the same guy, like Stravinsky, goes on forever, and Strauss, and you know, I just did 3 discs of Stokowski, but then come all the smaller S's. And for a little while now, until we get to the next big clump, we're gonna be dealing with smaller S's, minor S, and interesting S. So we had we've got 3 composers, and oh wow, let me see, right? Yeah, it's hard to make sure that you've got all these strictly alphabetically, because I kind of mix them up sometimes, like everything that begins with ST followed by a vowel, and it's like, oh. But let's talk about 3 of these. This is a wonderful New World recording disc of music by American composer Eric Stokes. Yeah, but performed by Zeitgeist, you know, that group. And we've got, let's see, what is it for? We've got all kinds of strange ensembles, but this is fun music. Susquehanna's one work, which has 3 movements entitled Nostrum, Buffalo Bones, and Wang Doodles. I particularly like my Wang Doodles. This is for, let's see, percussion and keyboards and reeds. You know, it's like P.D.Q. Bach said, reeds without oboes and bassoons, just reeds. No, it's reeds, various instruments. Now we've got the Pickpocket is Lyrical 2, which is, again, with percussion and keyboards and reeds. And then Tintinnabulary, which is part of Phonic Paradigm 4, whatever that means. It was from 1983, with 2 percussionists. And Whittlings, for people who like to whittle, by percussion and piano and alto saxophone. This is a very interesting guy. I like his music. It's inventive. It's fantastical. The titles are really cute. The movements are mostly pretty short, and it's worth exploring. So there you go. Then we've got, so he goes back here, Mr. Stokes, and then we have, oh, my entire Stockhausen collection. That's not really true. I have more Stockhausen spread out in various places. I've never been much of a fan, but some of his music is, of course, important and interesting. And there may be other stuff in here mixed in. I don't know. I think it's more Stockhausen-esque if you don't alphabetize him and you just stumble across it now and then. I think that is more in keeping with his aesthetic. But anyway, look, there's a cat up there too. Okay, so this is Mantra. Mantra is very cool. This is with let's see, Uvar Mikashov at Rosalind Bevan piano and Oli Orsted on the electronics. It's 69 fun-filled minutes of groovy, modified musical things. And that's Stockhausen. Does he really deserve more? I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I had my period. You know, I had Donnerstag aus Licht, and I had the whole Deutsche Grammophon Stockhausen thing, and he's in collections of like modern music and stuff. And I always thought to myself, you know, what is he talking about? What does he really think he's doing? I mean, after a while, it all starts to jumble together and sound the same. Then we have William Grant Still, who is absolutely marvelous composer, who deserves some really serious systematic treatment for his orchestral works and his ballets and even his operas and things. We have this, the American Heritage Symphonic Series Volume 1, which I've talked about separately on CD, which has the Symphony No. 1, the Afro-American Symphony, and you've also got Coleridge Taylor and Phyllis Sawande, the African Suite selections of that. And so I had an extra one of these sitting around. And this one, which was on Newport Classics with the Manhattan Chamber Orchestra, which, you know, featured me. I mean, I played with them, not on this particular recording, and Richard Alden Clark, conductor, and Margaret Astrup, soprano. And this has the American scene, the Southwest. They should do the whole thing, of course. From the Hearts of Women, mother and child, and here's the American scene, the far west, and the American scene, the east. So I don't know how much more American scene there was. Maybe this is the whole thing. And then the Citadel, Phantom Chapel, Golden Days, and Serenade, a delightful and interesting collection of William Grant Still orchestral music, and there's tons of it. And he's very, very inventive and enjoyable composer. He really is. And that is that for this. This is a quickie, because I limit myself to 3 composers. And I think it's good to end with a plug for William Grant Still and an exhortation that, he get more systematic treatment, not just, the sort of shallow nod because he happens to be African-American and African-American composers are a thing. I mean, he's a composer, and he really, really deserves to have his work investigated and exposed and presented in a systematic way. That's my feeling anyway. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.